J, wasn't it? At one point,
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
and all that nonsense going on. Interesting boaster right there.
Yeah. This is awkward as well because who do you reckon is supposed to be the good guys and the bad guys in this match? Do you think the fans are behind the Dudleys?
I can only assume that they are,
Hmm.
but yeah,
Yeah,
because in
I guess at this time it's acceptable to put a woman through the table
yeah,
if she deserves it.
lots of you know where you are in the time because there's loads of South Park kind of posters going up. It was
Oh yeah, it was huge back then, wasn't it?
yeah,
Huge.
South Park and WWF were kind of like the two hottest things being sold on the merchandise listings. I remember that much. But that was where society was getting. I mean, South Park at the time was very sort of out there. There wasn't a lot like it. Now, of course, you can't get enough of it, can you? But of the amount of shows that are like it. But there were very few things, and I think what worked well with WWF is they literally latched on to where society was at the time, and they were also pushing the envelope somewhat, which is probably where I think we do get lost today. There's just no, we just don't know what it is that WWE are trying to aim for sometimes, where they're trying to get in. But Matt, was you a fan of the Dudleys in general?
Um, it's surprising to most people, but when I say this, but I was never really a fan of the Dudleys. I don't know what it was that didn't really make me connect with them, but I just didn't really like their kind of style and the tables thing. I didn't mind the tables, but it just seemed to get to a point where it was always about the tables more than
Mm-hmm.
it actually was about them. And the fact that they would sometimes try and bring a table out at the blatant risk of disqualification, which
Mm-hmm.
never really made much sense to me.
Yeah, I was never a massive fan when I watched them at the time. I never really was fascinated by them. I mean, I liked them, but I wasn't, massive on them. But when I did become a fan of them is when I started to watch their old work in ECW, and then I realised there was more to them than what I saw in the sort of tidied up WWE style of the Dudleys, which is totally different. But they were young guys in ECW. They were pretty young here as well, and I think people forget that at the time that where they were. But a lot of they come in as the Dudleys, Matt, which is interesting because normally Vince likes to change things, doesn't he? But the Dudleys literally came from ECW. I mean, they had that gimmick down there with Spike down to a T, and it was kind of interesting that Vince just said, you know what, we're just going to let you go with that. We want the Dudleys here now. And I know that he put his own spin on it with the tables and stuff like that, but he let them kind of keep the same sort of attire and look and everything else. Brother Devon, all the rest of it. So um, that was kind of fascinating to me. But then of course years later, Matt, we would learn that Vince sort of funded ECW for quite some time that not many people knew about. But so whenever he took talent, he gave them quite a bit of money back. From what we learned later, I don't think WCW were privy to that. So it was
Good little business deal there, actually, and it worked out in the end.
yeah, of course. You think of the stars that they got from there. So it gives them first dibs on some of those talents. See a tag coming in. So yeah, I mean, in general, the tag team division seems very healthy in 2000. I'll say that much. You've got the Edge and Christian, the Too Cool.
So who would you imagine would win this then?
I'm going to have to go with the Dudleys just because
Yeah,
of the feud that I've seen going into this. I've got to imagine it's got to come down to Tori being going in through the table at some point, but you never know,
yeah.
could work out bad for
Quite
the Dudleys.
suspicious. The stipulation would be a handicap with 3 against 2 here.
Yeah. There's a lot of women and male kind of like mixed stuff going on in this pay per view in general, isn't there? It's got
Yeah,
crowd are really
But
up for this, aren't they?
Well, we're still thoroughly not into the PG era here.
Yeah, definitely. It's something you just would not get around today. 100,000,000%. One thing I will say about this pay-per-view so far, Matt, is it's been a nice pacing, and they've given quite a nice little bit of variety. Like there's been a bit of enough of each stuff, which I've enjoyed, and each match has been very unique and different from each other. I know that last thing we saw was extremely unique. I don't think we'll ever get anything like that ever again, but it's been pretty good. It's had sort of, I mean, I guess that's your overall comedic value, but it's been pretty good, I would say. I didn't expect it was going to be this good. I was a little bit sort of apprehensive going into this after the 99. I know that got a huge backlash, although I didn't think it was that bad. So I wasn't too sure about this, but they look like they sort of re-picked up King of the Ring, give it some more credibility from what I've seen thus far.
Yeah, I've got to say, like, watching this without much knowledge about it, because I've forgotten a lot of it, I've actually quite enjoyed it. Up until this point, I know it could still change,
Camera
but I
from
think
inside.
So far, it's still been pretty good.
Yeah, I loved it. That camera was inside the dumpster.
Yeah, that's some good horror for
okay, does that mean they win? Does that mean they win there because they put them in there? I think that does, doesn't it? Oh, no, hang on, they're getting out. What's going on here? I have no idea what the hell is going on. Now they're going underneath the ring, so Xbox and Road Dogg think they're in there, but they're not. So the referee's going to go and look, and he's going to obviously he's behind you. Double chair shot. I love how the ref's just like, I don't know. I'll tell you this is no DQ. I guess
the direction this match is going in now then.
Mm-hmm. You're going to see them steel steps again. Just chucked in like nobody's business. Just thrown in. I'm going to see some tables here. One thing as well, I think that Dudleys do get underestimated about is I know a lot of people always talk about Edge and Christian and the Hardys in those matches, but the Dudleys were just as much as a part of those matches as anyone else. I mean, they were at least being landed on. I know they didn't always do the high spots, but they certainly did make. They weren't there just for the numbers. They definitely had like a massive part of the success of those matches. This looks like it could be brutal. For old Road Dogg
here. Quite a unique setup.
Yeah. Again, non-PG. That's for sure. Something like that now would get played so many times over. X-Pac's crawling behind. Is he going to get some sort of happening to him? Are we going to get a replay? Not sure what happened because there was a replay. I'm guessing X-Pac come up from behind them. Did you ever think that X-Pac could have gone on to more, Matt? Knowing
yeah. I think there was a time when that could have been possible. I think he was always limited because, like I say, he might be a big guy compared to us, maybe, but compared to other wrestlers, he always did look a bit on the smaller side.
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt, probably, if he was, like 50 pounds heavier, he would have been probably a big star.
Yeah. That old era. It's not looking good for X-Pac right now. I think Devon went through more of that than X-Pac. And now the moment has come, I believe. Made no sense how she went in the ring. Now she's lost the ability to run. what's going on here. She's going to put herself in there.
Yeah, that wasn't the best idea.
I'm guessing this is going to be another non-PG moment.
Oh, then they win the match.
See that coming. There's the camera.
Right, nice. I don't get why there's sort of side doors on this bin though.
Okay, so they win the match then. That's official, I suppose.
But what happened to poor old Tori? She's still in there with him, or did she get out?
It's like he's asking that now, isn't he? Yeah, who knows?
Oh, no, she's still there.
Oh dear. Didn't work out too good.
Xbox like, no.
We're not going to run back though. We're too tired.
Oh, we did have a go.
I'm glad they did that. Because that would have made no sense why they wouldn't run back down. There's Road Dog. Just give me a 3D.
Oh. There's been so many moments in this which is still heavily in the Attitude Era.
Oh, it's that table. It's got her name on it for sure. So this has got to happen now, surely.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's left to stop it.
And yep. There's the look. So yeah, definitely something new there. And yeah, as Matt alluded to, very much still in the Attitude Era to be doing things like that still. Something you definitely wouldn't see today.
I think that was quite a well put together match.
Yeah, definitely there was definitely a bit of story going on with that. You know, people come. You could tell how much the fans were into it. That it was a big part of the night. But again, it's showed how healthy the tag team division was. You know, neither of these teams were the title holders at the time. There he is, Kurt Angle backstage with Michael Cole. That T-shirt or shirt is the same shirt that Jonathan Coachman was wearing. It must have been the WWF official, interview shirt there.
Oh, and how much technology has changed. That microphone's wired.
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't sound like Kurt Angle has much respect for people that rub their butt in other people's faces. Well, can't say I blame him there.
So now we're going to get a rundown of Rikishi's injuries, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what this kind of version of Val Venus was, why he was so kind of angry and brutal.